Hey there. Today I want to talk about something that's weighed heavily on my mind and inspired me to record this video as a cautionary tale to anyone thinking about selling their home to a wholesaler. I'm Lisa Mutschler, broker owner of Expert Real Estate. A wholesaler is a special type of real estate investor. They don't buy houses and fix them up or keep them as rentals. These are the "we buy ugly houses" signs you've probably seen on street corners. They buy houses for the lowest price they can negotiate with a homeowner and then immediately turn around and negotiate the highest price they can with other investors from their database who are looking to buy an investment property, usually a fixer upper of some sort. This person or LLC who buys from the wholesaler is the end buyer. The wholesaler's profit is simply the difference between what they buy a property for and what they sell it for. The end buyer usually pays all the closing costs, so those don't even come out of the wholesaler's profit. Wholesalers negotiate a price with what we call a distressed homeowner, someone who wants to sell quickly with no hassle for some reason. Wholesalers allow the homeowner to choose the date that they'd like to close, depending upon how long they need to move out. They'll even allow the homeowner to leave behind anything they don't want to take with them. And the end buyer agrees to take the property as is with whatever's left in the property. Now, I get it. The idea of selling your home with less hassle is appealing. No cleaning, no decluttering, no staging, no open houses. Pick your own closing date, no hassle, right? But here's the truth. While it is convenient, yes, you could be leaving a significant amount of money on the table. Here's the point I want to get across with this video. Homeowners do have other options that offer the exact same benefits, but that will net them more money on the sale of their home. Let's look at a real life scenario. A while back, I discovered that an 80-year-old neighbor had sold his condo to a wholesaler. This neighbor bought his condo back in 2018 for $270,000. Fast forward 6 years, and for whatever reason, he decided it was time to sell. A wholesaler bought his condo for only $280,000. The condo was only 6 years old and still in great condition. And here in Colorado, we see above average appreciation in our real estate compared to some other parts of the country. So I think you'll agree that this property had appreciated way more than only $10,000 in all those years. The homeowner thought he was making the right choice, but little did he know the wholesaler offered him a fraction of what his condo was actually worth. It's my opinion that they preyed on his elderly age, vulnerability, and lack of knowledge about the market. It literally made me sick to my stomach when I learned of the sale. Now, you may be thinking that the seller was okay with selling at a discount since he didn't have to go through listing it on the MLS and having showings, right? But let me ask, at what cost? How much of a discount do you think it's worth for a quick and easy sale? The wholesaler resold his condo for $358,000. That's right. The wholesaler made a profit of almost $80,000 for doing very little more than tons of marketing, targeting these distressed homeowners, and negotiating two contracts. While this elderly gentleman saw essentially no return on his investment. It's stories like this that break my heart and inspire me to warn others against using wholesalers without the proper knowledge when selling your home. They may seem like a quick solution, but the truth is their deals occasionally are borderline criminal and or unethical, again, in my opinion, taking advantage of unrepresented and often ill-informed homeowners. Again, the wholesaler's business model is buy low and sell high, not all that unusual. That's the way many businesses work. They prey on homeowners, though, who may be in a hurry to sell or don't know the value of their home. I know these are very strong words, and I'm not saying every wholesale transaction is bad for the homeowner. But the most important thing to remember is that these transactions are negotiated between a wholesaler, who often is a licensed, experienced real estate broker, and an unrepresented homeowner who has very little, if any, knowledge about their options or even what's going on. Wholesalers aren't required to be licensed agents, although the larger wholesaling companies hire lots of agents to work on either the acquisition side, negotiating the purchase contracts with distressed homeowners, or the sales side, recruiting the end buyer investors and selling the properties to them. The environment is extremely competitive for the agents within some of these wholesaling companies. There are also independent wholesalers who sometimes are just contractor type investors who don't necessarily have a real estate license. Now, some of you may say, well, at least he didn't have to pay a real estate commission. So let's look at the math. Since I own a condo there from my brokerage office, I know all about the values in the complex. I could have sold this condo for at least $380,000, $100,000 more than what the wholesaler paid him for it. Even after commission and other closing costs, he would have received $75,000 to $80,000 more for his condo. Think about that. I don't care who you are, unless your name is Bezos or Musk, $75,000 to $80,000 is a lot of money. I've worked with many seniors over the years, and almost all of them are concerned with how much they'll net from their sale, since real estate is often our most valuable financial asset. And once these seniors sell their home, they probably have very little else left with any significant value. None of my clients would have knowingly chosen to sell to a wholesaler if they knew it meant $75,000 less in their pocket. Watch for part 2 of this video, where I'll, number 1, cover how the wholesale process works, and number 2, provide an alternative option that will be just as simple, but with more money in your pocket after the sale. And will leave you with no regrets because you had the guidance and education that allowed you to make an informed decision.